How do you manifest your dream life? You know, growing up, I always heard the term manifestation, and I didn't know if it was real. It sounded like someone was just trying to sell something to make a quick buck. And then I started testing it. And in 2017 to early 2018 was one of the lowest points of my life. I didn't know what to do. At that point, I transferred back to University of Houston. On orientation day, I found out none of my credits were accepted. I was Ubering across Houston, applying for jobs, trying to figure out my life, while my friends and a lot of people I grew up with were graduating and getting these big jobs, and it seemed like their life was perfect. The problem is, since I was a little kid, I always felt like I was meant for more. I thought I was going to become successful. So I had this conflicting experience where part of me knew I was meant for great things, but I wasn't experiencing it. And so over the previous years before that, I had really started reading and learning about how to manifest your dream life. And it's points like this where you question, does this stuff work? And I'm going to tell you what I did, because 2 years later, I started a business and ended up making over 7 figures in income, profit, not revenue, profit. And my life was changed forever. I've been all the places, I've driven all the nice cars, I've done all the great things at a really young age. And I'm going to tell you how I did it so you can do it in your life, no matter what level you are. Some of you guys are wildly successful, but you can still manifest great things, maybe a relationship or whatever. So the first thing that I did is, because I had prepared so much the previous 2 years from that low point in my life, I didn't feel fear. I didn't feel worry. I was so certain that this was going to make an incredible story that I can make a video like this on about it and it be worth it, that I knew I was going to prevail. That's one. You have to be certain that you may not know how, but at some point you're going to reach your dream destination. You have to be certain, confident, delusionally confident. The second thing is you need to almost live in the energy of your future self. Let me kind of explain what that means. When you watch a movie of any sorts, it could be a scary movie, it could be a motivational movie, it could be based on a true story, it could be an action movie. You notice how your body and energy reacts differently to each movie based on the scenes, based on the acting, based on the music, based on the storyline. The same thing happens in our life in any capacity, whether we think about something or whether we experience it. And they actually tested this theory on Olympic athletes. And they tested their brain's neurons, how they reacted when they visualized running a 100-meter or 400-meter dash, and then how they actually, their neurons reacted when they were actually running the race. And what was interesting is that their brains reacted the exact same way. And they discovered that a human's brain does not truly know the difference between reality and thought. So, if a specific thought, an emotion, experience creates a certain energy, then all we have to do to consistently manifest and ultimately become that person that lives in that reality is experience our dream life mentally and emotionally through visualization, through affirmation, and through thinking about that experience and almost living as if you were that person today. And you'll notice this, that let's say you do a 10-minute visualization exercise where you relax, you focus on your breath, and you visualize like a movie your perfect dream ideal scenario. By the end of it, you're going to feel better, you're going to feel confident, you're going to feel certain. And maybe for the next couple hours or even that day, you're going to start noticing that great things will start happening to you. And then it'll kind of fizzle off and you'll get back into your natural state. But when you do this every single day, your energy, instead of going up here and then back down and up here, back down, it's going to start elevating. And then your lifestyle and your decisions and who and what you allow into your life is going to start resembling that future version of yourself, which means the habits that you have, the thoughts that you continually have, not just when you're visualizing things, but when you're just living your normal life. who you start to surround yourself with, where you go, what is acceptable, and then what actions you start taking are going to start resemble that person that you want to become, therefore causing your energy to be consistently on that frequency. But this is what's so cool in just a practical sense. Think about when you meet a stranger for the first time. They've never seen you before. They have no idea about what you're like, what you do, who you've been, anything. That means in real time, they have an unbiased, unfiltered view of the current person you are in that moment. Which means they're not going, oh, they did this last week or last year, or they're not good or not this. They're getting a fresh perspective. So when you elevate, even if it's over a 3-day period, the world starts reacting to the new and present version of yourself because you've elevated in some capacity. And this is when, whether it's 2 days or a week later, a month later that you've done these exercises and you've got into this mindset, you're going to start noticing 2 key things that are going to happen. Number 1 is strangers are going to start treating you differently. And this is a sign that you're heading in the right direction. And when I started doing these things, I remember it was about 6 months or so after this experience, and I started having some success. I got this sales job. There's a whole story that I'll tell you guys another time. Or if you know my podcast, you've probably heard it. I noticed when I would go to restaurants or I was out with friends that people would just treat me with a little bit more respect. And I noticed that more successful people were suddenly being drawn into my life. And I wasn't reaching out to these people. I wasn't trying to convince them of anything. I wasn't selling them of anything. I just noticed the world started responding to me differently. That was the first thing. Then the second thing is what's called synchronicities will start appearing in your life that align with that future self. Opportunities, random emails, a conversation that could turn into this life-changing opportunity. And it may not happen, but you're just going to quickly go, I've never got one of these before. This is a different type of energy. This is a different type of experience. I've never seen this before. People that you used to be friends with or used to think were funny or used to always spend time with you are suddenly going to kind of fizzle off. You may ask to hang out and they're like, oh, I can't. They make an excuse. And you're like, what the heck? You're experiencing 2 frequencies not aligning anymore. And so if you go through this maybe quiet period where people start disappearing, don't freak out. Don't grab quick energy. Don't try to go rescue them and convince them to come hang out with you and go, why aren't you responding? Just let them fizzle off. Because this is a sign you're elevating and turning into that dream version of yourself. And then eventually what happens? Because first we evolve spiritually and internally. And then second, the world starts catching up to who we've become. And that's when, whether it's 6 months, 2 weeks, a year, 5 years, or whatever it is, you're going to suddenly wake up and go, hold up, I am living my dream life. And that's how quick it happens. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up, comment below. Every time you do, it pushes it out to the algorithm to help more people. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe for daily business, motivational, and inspirational content. And if you guys are looking for help scale your business, click the link below, grandmaconsulting.com to work with me. Much love, guys. See you guys soon.